I think we can all agree that edibles are the final evolution of the magic green plants, and their powers should never be taken lightly. That is unfortunately a lesson I had to learn the hard way. It begins with me and the main homie Salamander and Ricky. So we're at school and the final lesson had just ended, so I picked up my Nike Elite school bag and started walking out the classroom when I heard Salamander and Ricky whisper something like, "Hey bro, come over here real quick." This had me instantly intrigued, because knowing Salamander and Ricky, I knew that they had to have something devious planned. What's up? So bro, you excited for tomorrow's field trip? Not really, it's just some boring museum. Yeah bro, you're totally right. But what if I told you it could be more than that? It could be a night at the museum type of experience. Bro, I think I know what you're about to say, and no, I don't want to smoke a split before we go on the bus. Why not, bro? Cause last time I got high in this type of situation, I damn near shat myself from the anxiety. Got me thinking of running out the classroom screaming, "I'm not high, you're all high." Man, it ain't gonna be like last time. Me and Ricky experienced stoners. Fool? Yeah, but I'm still gonna say no, but thanks for offering, I guess. You're lost, fool. So tomorrow comes, and I go sit next to Salamander and Ricky on the bus. Cause even though looking back at it, they might have been a bad influence on me, at least they weren't NPCs like the rest of our default setting ass class. I sit down and ask them, "So, you guys high right now?" And they chuckled and were like, "Nah man, we decided not to do it this time. Gonna save the good for the weekend." Damn bro, that's a good idea. I'll definitely join you in the play sesh then, for sure. About 20 minutes goes by when Ricky pulls out a couple brownies. Now, I know what you're thinking. Brownies? Bro, how did you not know they were edibles? And the answer to that question is, well, I wasn't quite the stoner bro I am today, and at the time, at least to my knowledge, I was the only one who had done edibles before. Also, it wasn't like I wasn't sus at all, it went something like this. Hey bro, you want one? My mom made them for the trip. Of course man, I'm hungry as fuck. Bruh, that was bussin'. Mom makes some killer brownies. What y'all laughing at? And then it hit me. I had been tricked, bamboozled, fooled. Bro, don't tell me that was a edible. Nah, bruh. Have y'all even done eddies before? It hits way harder than normal Zaza. Pfft, we know. We ain't even put that much in. How much then? 1 gram? Oh, okay, so that's 0.3 each. I guess we might be able to pull through. Nah, 1 in each brownie. What have you done? 15 minutes after eating those brownies, we arrive at the museum, and I'm already thinking how I'm gonna escape this place, cause if these things ain't duds, there's no way I'm gonna be able to act normal. What pissed me off the most was these guys didn't have a care in the world, talking about, "Bro, this finna be a movie." Like, yeah bro, but probably not the type of movie you're thinking of. Gonna be tweaking so much, finna have to call the local priest to exorcise that THC out of your systems, fool. So at the 35-minute mark, I feel it, the first bit of high, and it kicks pretty hard. I wouldn't say I was gone or anything, but definitely on stage 2. And now knowing they weren't duds and that it was just the beginning, I had to act quick. Cause I knew in a couple more minutes I'll most likely start slurring my words and start chewing my mouth from the dryness like, "Oh no, I'm already doing it. I gotta act quick, now or never." "Teacher, I have a problem." "What's wrong?" I'm not sure. I think I ate something bad. I think it's food poisoning, Teach." Okay, well, go to the bathroom then." "No, Teach, that's not enough. It's too bad. I feel it. I'm about to shit." Okay. Call your parents and go home. Don't want you crapping all over this motherfucking museum, bitch. Okay. He didn't say it like that. But the point is, I had avoided certain death, at least academically. I called my dad and he picked me up. I told him what had happened and he wasn't even mad. He just laughed and was like, "You wanna go get some candy to enjoy the trip?" Sadly, Ricky's and Salamander's fate was not so happy. From what I had heard, they started tweaking like a bunch of tweaker geekers. But thankfully, they didn't get expelled or anything, cause they ended up just sneaking out and taking a bus home. "How are you already home, Ricky? You should be at the museum." "No, Mama. I think I am the museum." The first day back at school, a day I used to hate. I mean, can you blame me? Cause as a student, summer is the only significant amount of time you are granted to enjoy your young life, and the rest, well, back to the academic 9 to 5. But to make the clown show that is the first day back at school a bit more fun and exciting, me, Salamander, and Ricky conjured up a devious plot to add a little bit of spice into the mix. It all started on the night before the first day. We were all at Salamander's place just chilling, playing Xbox, eating Doritos, and smacking the Benjamin, of course, when the conversation sailed to the topic of going back to school. It was the usual, man, I don't wanna go back to school. Yeah, bro, same. Until Salamander, the troubled child he was, or is, I don't know, said, "Hey guys, you know what we should do tomorrow before the opening ceremony?" No. We should totally spark a J. Nah, man, you know I don't like getting faded in school. That shit is so stressful. Nah, hear me out. This ain't school. It's the first day ceremony where they sing, read poems, and I don't know, maybe someone will do a flip or something too. So, wouldn't it be more fun if during all that we were faded? He's got a point. Okay, but just a little. You better not bring some abomination of a spliff like last time. Shit, you know me, I wouldn't do that. We decided to smoke up just a little bit before the first day. A little bit was what we agreed upon. So obviously, Salamander, being the trustworthy homie he is, would never peer pressure nor instigate a friend into smoking more than he wants. So obviously, he only rolled a small split. Okay, so here's the J. Bruh. This mofo heard my request of a small J to get only a bit suited and decided, okay, small, microdosed, small J, medium. Nah, fuck it, fat. But anyway, here we are, on the park bench outside the school premises at 8:30 a.m. during wake and bake hours. And well, because me and Ricky are men of integrity and honor and would never waste free Za, we fell to the bamboozlement of Salamander yet again and smoked the whole thing. Whereas right after, we were running a bit late, so the three of us Soink Musketeers stood up and started walking intensely to school. But honestly and thankfully, I wasn't very paranoid, unlike most of the times I got high at school, because, well, it was the first day and we didn't really have any classes except for only one introductory welcome back type thing that was supposed to last only 45 minutes, so not a big deal. Once we arrived at the auditorium, we were shell-shocked to find out the speech was already going on, and because we were looking like a couple medium rare filet mignons, we didn't really want to go in, cause we knew when we opened that door, everybody would stop and stare at us, cause that's just how it always is when you arrive to class late. And although Salamander was telling us, nah guys, don't be pussios, let's just go, we ended up sitting out the first part until lunchtime, cause we were pretty sure we wouldn't get in trouble if we just said we missed our bus or something. 30 minutes went by and lunchtime came, and because we were camped out at the cafeteria, we were the first to get their welcome back to school lunch. And what was that wonderful, significant, mouth-watering dish, you might ask? Well, it was nothing but Munchie's heaven. We were served some beans, a boiled egg, and some turkey meat or something. Oh, and I can't forget the 1% milk that tastes like it was mixed with water. Fantastic. But even though the food should have been pretty dog poop, it was actually pretty aight. I mean, it wasn't no Big Mac and McNuggets, but because we were high, it was edible. No. I would even go as far and say it was pretty good. After eating our gulag food faster than everybody else, we were the first back in the auditorium, and because of that, we got the best seats in the house, at the far back corner where no one could see us. And although we had missed the only important part of the day, that being the introductory speech by the principal, we did have a jolly old time listening to the honor students' inspirational poems and songs about life by giggling and chuckling in the back like math. Hey yo, chemistry. And with that, the first day had come to an end, and we went back home and played Xbox High. But if you want to learn about the first day at school experience, click the video on the screen now. See you there. We've all had a bad high before, and for some of us, we've had many. But what if I told you, you don't even know what that means? At least before you hear about the day I almost died while bugging off the Zaza. I woke up happier than usual because it was a special day. To be exact, it was my special day, my birthday, and I had planned a great celebration in my name. I was going to get wasted in my hometown with my old school friends. Because, well, I hadn't seen him in a long time, and I mean, I was turning 18, so you know your boy had to throw a killer party. Okay, to be honest, the party was pretty lame, cause my friends were either soy boys in a relationship or just plain gay, cause I told them multiple times, bring some hoes. The problem was, I had lost all my female connections in the area over the 2 years I was away, and they knew this. So how you gonna pull up to the party knowing your boy is back from the gulag and it's his birthday talking about,
Bro, where the hoes at? This party lame as hell.
I told you bring the hoes, any hoes, yet you come here with a 6-pack and a vape. What you talking about where the hoes at? Look in the mirror, fool. You the hoe. You the hoe. Anyway, so we're just chilling at my lame party when my boy Ricky hits me up like,
Hey bro, I saw you in town again. Wanna smoke some gas?
And even though I do have an obligation to stay at my own birthday function, I decided to disband. Hey, everybody, thank you all for coming, but I'm gonna have to wrap this party up cause it's getting kinda late.
Bro, it's 11 p.m. Party's just starting. Let's drink some more beers, eh?
Hey, it's only 11 p.m. Hey, let's drink some more beers. Get the fuck out of my house, Charles. So I get these soy boys out my house. Like, sorry, but if you can't even muster one single female on a 2-week notice to come to a house party, are you really even a man? But yeah, so here I am, half drunk, walking to the European version of 7-Eleven when I get a text from my boy Ricky.
Hey man, you wanna come roll with us on this drop-off? We can blaze up in the car on the way there.
And I don't really want to get involved with any dealings of illegal substances, but like, I was pretty much at the 7-Eleven already and really wanted to get lit. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I get to the parking lot and I see the most rusty ricer stolen from the junkyard looking car, blasting gangster rap from the speakers like it was a 50 Cent concert. I jump in the car and see my boy Ricky, but also 2 of my friends from elementary school. They discussing this business whilst me and Ricky blazing in the back when I noticed the driver seems kind of off. So I asked Ricky, hey bro, is that man good? Seems a little off.
Yeah, no, he good. Just had a couple beers. Bruh.
So I just found out that the driver is a teensy bit drunk. But I'm already here and we're blazing, so what am I gonna do, leave? It was about 10 minutes of chatting and smoking when the time came to roll out. And bro, when I say this car was the biggest piece of shit that has ever grazed public roads, I'm not exaggerating. The freaking bottom of the car was vibrating and shaking so much, it felt like we was having an earthquake. And on top of it, the engine was making these clunking noises, and the exhaust was spitting fumes like it was 1920. Even though I was high as a kite, it wasn't just the Zaza making me paranoid, because this guy was driving like he was on a NASCAR track. But the one thing he did constantly that got me praying to our Lord and Savior was taking every corner and curve on the opposite side of traffic. Even though we lived in a small town and it was midnight, if even just one car would have been on those dark and twisty roads that day, it would have meant certain death for all of us. You know those moments where you're like, oh Lord, please, I will never hang out with these thugs again and I will never smoke the good. Just save me from this death. That was me, but like times 10 at least. Anyway, what felt like an eternity of driving, we got to the drop-off, and it was just some more wannabe thug gangsters interacting with our group of wannabe thug gangsters. That interaction took about 10 minutes until we started driving back, and I was just praying the whole way to whoever would listen. Gandhi, Buddha, Michael Jackson, Pop Smoke, Jiraiya, anybody and everybody. Somehow we got back in one piece. Can't say the same words about the car though, cause when we pulled up to the 7-Eleven again and he turned it off, it made a weird noise. So he tried activating the shitbox again and it wouldn't. So yeah, sucks for him I guess. So I say my goodbyes to the top thug gangsters of my hometown and all I can think about is, bro, what the hell happened to my old homies? Everybody's either a soy boy or a drug dealer, no in between. Guess the moral of the story is, chase your dreams, I guess. Oh, and don't go into cars that look like they were last maintained in 1955, cause there's a good chance that this'll happen. We all know that the Zaza affects everybody differently. How someone starts acting depends on a lot of things, like their mood, the strain of the kush, and their overall personality. When someone is invited to the smoke sesh, all these things are taken into account, cause nobody wants to have their vibe ruined by that one guy like,
Guys, what if the police saw us hitting that blunt?
Jimmy, stop tripping, no one saw.
Nah, guys, I'm pretty sure they saw. I'm gonna call them and hopefully our punishment won't be too bad.
Bro, Jimmy, stop tweaking. Nobody saw. What are you doing? Put that phone away.
I'm sorry.
Ugh, whatever. Anyway, that's an example of someone you would not want to get high with. But here are the 5 best types of people you will want to get high with. Number 5. The chiller. This is your normal, relaxed high guy. He's always happy to go along with any plans the group might have and usually remains chill throughout the session. Only that you can't have a group of just chillers, cause well, they just wanna go with the vibe. But if there's no one to start the vibe, then...
How you feeling, broskies? Yeah, I'm chill. Me too. Chillin' like Krillin. Facts. I'm chillin' like a McDillin. What's a McDillin? I don't know. He just chillin'. Facts.
So you can see that after a while, you might get bored of just chillin'. And that's when you need someone like number 4, the schemer. Every group needs one of these guys. Cause as we know, the Zaza tends to make you one with the couch like,
Bro, your couch is so comfortable. I think I'm glued to this couch forever, man.
Hey bro, I brought the snacks. Where are you?
I'm right here, bro.
But the schemer will always give it his all to find an activity more fun than merging with the couch. So next time you feeling extra lazy and fault the homie for saying something like, Bro, let's go get some hoes or something. I don't want to just marinate in this room all day. Remember that without him, you might be more relaxed, but you'd also have way less awesome high experiences and stories. Number 3. The overanalyzer. Now don't get this one confused with the overthinker, cause they are not the same. The overanalyzer is someone who always makes the conversations more interesting, cause they think of things the average stoner just doesn't. You can be talking about something you thought was black and white, and this guy will have you realizing your whole life was a lie. In a fun way though.
Bruh, I wish I had some hoes. What you mean, dog? You do.
I do?
Yeah, bro. Remember that one girl at the 7-Eleven yesterday? She asked you where the soda was?
Yeah, so what?
Bro, do you really think she couldn't have found that soda herself?
Also, she had a smile about 3 degrees higher than when she was talking to her friend. And she was also 2 inches closer to you than the US, I'm just asking where something is, average.
Bruh, where you going with this? Even if she did like me, I don't even know her name. But you got her number, though.
What are you talking about? As she was walking out the store, I saw her whisper and hand something to the clerk. But the clerk didn't say or give anything to me.
Well, look at the back of that Dorito bag.
Bro, no way. How'd you figure all this out?
Wait, it was I mean, yeah, bro, cause I'm a goddamn boy genius. Like, you should know this by now. Like, shit.
Number 2, the comedian. This guy feeds off laughter, and he'll do anything to get the entire group on the floor crying their eyes out begging him to stop. But he never does. When this guy is around, you can forget about focusing on anything, cause the comedian, man, he won't let you. This guy shines the most when the group just chilling and chatting, cause that's when he really busts out all his material. But sometimes when it's all business and shit hits the fan, he don't know how to act. And that's when you need number 1, the calm one. This is the dude that you want around when things go south and people start panicking. When everything is good, he acts a lot like the chiller. But when something happens that gets the group tweaking, he always keeps a calm head and finds the best solution.
Bro, what are we gonna do? My mom's coming home in 20 minutes and we look like some slow roasted filet mignons. And shit, look at Ricky. He don't even know where he is.
Hi, I'm home.
Where are they? What are you guys doing here? We're just chilling.
I love the magic green plant, but sometimes I be just chilling, minding my own damn business, and then all of a sudden, bang! The Zaza decides to make something as simple as my toe hurts a little bit into, holy shit, I have toe cancer and I'm going to die. But something you guys might not know is that there are levels to greening out, as not all green jelly bean attacks are with the same ferocity as Mike Tyson's uppercut. Sometimes it can be just a small jab that knocks you down, so let's start out with the Jake Paul special. Level 1. Whatever. This is the initial level where you start to suspect that something could be wrong. You might have dove deeper into a bad thought than you would usually, or you find yourself thinking about a subject outside the one being discussed quite intensely. This is the level where if you act according to the CBDBro code of not being a dum-dum and just stop yourself from diving deeper, it can quite easily be stopped with just a change of scenery or switching concentration from your thoughts into the activity at hand. That being a video game, chatting with friends, a TV show, etc. But if for some reason you forget to actively stop it, well, you're gonna move on to Level 2. Okay, stay calm. So you didn't stop the mighty green out when you had the chance. Well, now you've dug yourself much deeper and it's gonna be a lot harder to come out of it, although still not impossible. At this point, if you're with a group of friends, you are only replying to them because that's what you would normally do, but in your head, you are fighting demons. Not the devil himself yet, but it's still quite the battle. Yet at this level, you are still able to keep your composure and haven't ruined the group's vibe by being like, holy shit guys, I'm freaking out, I need to go home. Cause you know, if you were in their shoes, that would totally kill the vibe. But if you don't manage to crawl out of this hole, you will go straight to Level 3. Game over, man. Game over. Well, at this point, it's game over, man. It's impossible to pull yourself out. Well, not impossible, but highly improbable. If you're with a group of friends, this is the point where you just can't take it anymore and you change the group's vibe from fun to emergency mode. But if you are unlucky enough to be with a group of people you are not really that close with, well, this would be the time to just kind of walk out of there, cause you just can't function in a situation like that anymore. Every sentence you think about forming, the voice in your head will go, you sure these guys are gonna find that funny? What if they don't? What if they find it offensive? What if they fucking kill you for it? So yeah, at this point, shit is too extreme to handle in a situation like that. But it gets even worse at Level 4. Freak out. You're screwed. If you're in a social situation, this is the last chance to put on your big boy pants and just dash out of there. But at this point, even that's kinda scary, cause every damn object looks like a demon, and every stranger with a hint of blue is a cop. Your brain cannot handle thoughts anymore, so just switch that shit to autopilot and start walking. Even though you know that the police aren't probably gonna get you, it doesn't matter, because you are convinced if they don't get you, the devil himself will pop out and bring you to hell with him. Although this is complete paranoia mode, if you are alone in your room or with a group of close people in emergency mode, you'll be okay, just barely. But you need to hope and pray that you'll start coming down soon, cause if not, well, Level 5. I am going to die. Like, no kidding, I'm going to die 100%. The last and final level. At this point, you were 100% screwed. There is no pulling out anymore. All you can do is wait for your high to dissipate and just crawl up in a ball until then. You have convinced yourself that whatever it may be that started all this is the actual end of the world. Like no cap, sometimes the Zaza just doesn't like you and convinces you that the end is coming. No amount of persuasion and calming down from your friends will help you now. So they probably just left you in the corner while they went to enjoy the high. Only thing you can do is drink water and run around to sweat the THC from your system. And if you're lucky, you might make it back to Yodiland before the day is over. Until then, it's the trenches for you. So yesterday, I was packing myself a big ol' hit, as per usual, and thought to myself, man, I'm really hitting this out from this wacky silicone machine-crafted laboratory grade piece. Like, what happened to the Apple BONG, the can BONG, the good old spliff? And so today, I'm coming at you with the 5 levels of smoking grass, and how your equipment to do so evolves, along with your mindset and shit. Starting with Level 1, the noob. This the level where you still think the Zaza is some type of magical space unicorn shit, cause well, you've never done it, but your friends say it's crazy. So one day, you and the boys hear of a dude called Dragon selling grass in the school bathroom, so you band your money together and go acquire the grass. Once obtained and a safe area found, your friends are like, how are we gonna smoke this? which depending on where you're at, you're gonna end up either with a crappily handcrafted spliff or an aluminium can with holes in it. Whichever one you choose, you're gonna get faded in a hoe that night and either fly with the happy space unicorns or get tortured by thoughts like, I hope my mom doesn't call me right now. Is this ever gonna wear off? Was 9/11 an inside job? And if your first experience was the latter, then you probably didn't advance to the next level, at least for a while. But if you had a fun old time and continued to smoke up with your buddies, at some point you'll find yourself at level 2. Why does she always make my throat burn? After a while of smoking the Zaza from spliffs or from some shitty Mountain Dew can, you finally think to yourself, maybe I should invest in something that makes it so my throat doesn't want to eat itself inside out every time I take a hit. So you go online and buy the cheapest BONG you can find. Excited to use your new acquired technology, you invite your friends over and get faded in a hoe yet again. But it's different this time. Because the BONG doesn't destroy your throat as much, you can actually kinda take consecutive hits. So being the genius you are, you do that and ascend into Yodi Land for the first time. After the ascension, you begin to wonder though, how high can a mortal man truly be? Which the answers to those questions are still a ways away, but after a quick Google search of how to get more high, you discover something called the gravity BONG, and soon after go into level 3, the Zaza Man. Eager to try out your newfound powers of gravity control, you yet again invite your friends over and take a smack dabbly do off that thing. Which what follows is actually not as crazy as before, cause even though you all did get faded in a hoe, you also got sleepier than a hoe and got knocked out on the couch pretty fast. So you vow that the next time you use the powers of gravity, you'll drink an energy drink or something so you won't fall asleep like a baby. Even though it is pretty nice sleeping like a baby. Anyway, at this point, your friends are probably like, yeah, nah, that's a bit much. But because you're a crusader and haven't yet learned the lesson of moderation, you still want to get even more faded. So back to Google, and now you find yourself basically with two options, edibles or dabs. But because this is the 5 levels of smoking grass, let's just say you chose the dab pen. And shortly after, you move to level 4. The Fortnite cart. After the obtaining of the Benjamin, you test it out with your friends, and you get faded in a hoe yet again. But the reality is, your friends just want to smoke normal Zaza, cause the Benjamin kicks too hard for them. But you still haven't learned moderation, so you call them wackos and waddle your way to Benjamin City alone. While at Benjamin City, you're like, more high, must get more high. And there's only one more item to fill your never-ending quench for tolerance destruction, and that is level 5. Bro, what the fuck? You got a damn science station here with dab rigs? They're, well, unnecessary as a way to put it. I mean, bro, you know she has gone too far when you gotta look at the instructions on how to get high. Plus, your friends don't even really want to try it out anymore and urge you to go on a tea break, which, after realizing that all your money has been going to your need to get higher and higher, you're kind of forced into one, which, after, hopefully you'll move on to final level. Ascended. Finally, you realize smoking Zaza isn't just about getting as high as possible, because every situation has its own limits of fadedness. So if you're just going out on a night out with your homies, best thing to do is to smoke a spliff. If you don't want to get faded in a hoe though at home, do the gravity, and so on. The true power you have over all the other levels though is you've already gone through all of them, knowing that you can manage your tolerance correctly and smoke up with the appropriate tools for the appropriate situations. Moon rock, a type of weed that has been designed to bamboozle your frontal cortex and get you moving extremely irregular. Apparently so much so that Snoop Dogg himself finds them too strong and has warned against the use of these intergalactic Obi-Wan Kenobi exotic nugs. But CbdBro, you already smoked moon rock a year ago. And yes, technically I did, but as I learned to discover just a few days ago, crumbling a Moonrock J into a bowl isn't even close to the real thing. But why did we buy a pre-roll instead of actual Moonrock that day? Well, you see the J was $15 and the nug itself was $50, so I was just trying to save a little bit of money, I'm sorry. Now that we have that out of the way, let me set the scene for you. I just spent 24 hours going from airport to airport, flying my way to the USA of A. So I had what you might call jet lag, or a better way to put it, a non-alcoholic hangover. And if you know me, after a hard day's work, I like to indulge in that motherfucking top shelf gas. So right after getting to my apartment, I started scheming, cooking, fiddling my thumbs on my electronic mobile device in search of some dank weed, brah. And that's when it occurred to me, I hadn't smoked up in over 2 weeks. My tolerance must be damn near 0. Yeah, I don't want to overdo it. What's that stuff I smoked in Amsterdam again, though, that had me find demons? Moonrock? Nah. That'll disrupt my circadian rhythm. Wait. My circadian rhythm already is disrupted. Shit, Moonrock might just undisrupt it back to normal. So there I was, having made up my mind with absolute logic that could not be argued against. I concluded that the only thing potent enough to cure my jet lag was my dear old friend Moonrock. And remember how I said I found out a few days ago that what I smoked in Amsterdam wasn't actually Moonrock? Yeah, well, the few days I was referring to wasn't some random Google search. This shit would end up getting me so galactically obliterated, I scrambled to find out if I had smoked some lace grass, only to discover that the hole I dug myself into was no one else's fault but mine, god damn. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. After browsing the interwebs for a while, I found a place that sells Moonrock at an affordable price. So me, a carless man, decided to use the extremely sophisticated and thorough public transport system of the United States. I told you this was your last day, Johnny. I'm sorry. Just give me one more day. I'll pay it all back. I promise.
Rest in pepperoni, you damn crackhead. Holy shit. Did I just hear a dude getting shot? Thankfully, I'm safe on the
We looking for ops, young niggas letting off shots. They don't give a fuck about the cops. We clutching them ops.
So after taking a bus I'm assuming was operated by the Crenshaw Crips, I arrived in the fabulous dispensary and was ready to get my dank Moonrocks.
Hello, sir. How may I help you today?
Yeah, I'd like to purchase some Moonrock.
Sure. Do you have your ID or passport?
Yes, I do. I came prepared.
Yeah, checks out. That'll be $120.
120? I said I want Moonrock, not diamond-encrusted weed.
Well, that's the price. You want it or not.
Yeah, okay. After being bent over and having all my saved up rupees finessed, I held in my hand Moonrock. Not a cheap Moonrock J, some real sticky, icky, dank smelling nugs that looked like they really were from the moon. But now, back to the video. Unfortunately, that wasn't the end of my financial troubles because I was almost certain I had 30 minutes earlier heard a man being shot and killed near the bus stop. I didn't want to have my fade ran by the nearest gang-affiliated Moonrock smelling thugs, so using the money I was hoping to buy food with the next day, I instead got an Uber. Oh yeah. After arriving back at my apartment, I made sure that this time I would do things right. So I googled how to smoke Moonrock and was instantly greeted with a mistake I had made. Or I don't know if it was a mistake, but this tutorial said to pack your bowl full of your favorite flower and then add a couple chunks of your Moonrock in, which obviously I didn't do because I only had the damn Moonrock. Damn, I swear it was easier last time. This shit's sticky as fuck. Oh, well, screw it. I'll just pack it full of Moonrock. What's the worst that can happen? A grave mistake. A skibbity lapse in judgment. I was not at all prepared for what was to come, even though I thought I was. And the reason for that was my false understanding of how potent this shit actually is. I had smoked Sunrock before, but did so from a J, which is not really how you're supposed to do it, making its potency noticeably lower. And the Moonrock I smoked in Amsterdam was apparently just a J covered in keef that we crumbled into a BONG, and on top of that, when you consider the copious amounts of top shelf Zaza we were smoking prior, I think you might be starting to see how this is gonna go.
Here goes nothing. Holy shit. Okay, I know where this is going.
The instant the first bit of high hit me, I knew I was fucked. But CBD bro, it's just weed. No, you don't know what you're talking about. The first wave was eerily similar to when I hit the Benjamin for the first time, doing 2 blinkers. And if you remember that video, you know I was about to go through one hell of a trip. I rushed back inside and put my bong and other gear away as fast as I could before my IQ would drop to the level of a 4-year-old. Then I proceeded to put on some random YouTube video about P. Diddy, expecting to be entertained, only to find out he's coming for you. He could be anywhere. Justin Bieber. Oh Lord. What did he do to him? Beyonce too? No, she's in the Illuminati. All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. Yeah, so I definitely chose the wrong subject matter to accompany my near greenouts, and I was 100% starting to tweet. So I finally decided to stop with this P. Diddy stuff, as it was not doing me any favors.
Okay, chill. I'll just put on some music.
I went in there and did it and made it, you can too. We done came a long way from broken shoes.
When you're rich like this, you don't check the forecast, every day's gonna rain. Yeah.
Wait, it can't be.
No, not you too. Drip too hard, don't stand too close. Look around and drown out this wave. After realizing that a lot of the music I grew up with was the product of an alleged monster, I was rather sad. So I tried to instead play video games, hoping that if I focused on guiding my brightly colored Fall Guy from falling off the map due to the extensive obstacles in his way, I would be fine. Okay, Fall Guys, let's play some Fall Guys. How much a man can fall. Fallout 4.
20 minutes later.
Yeah, I remember I used to love Call of Duty. Nuketown was the shit. Wait, I was supposed to play Fall Guys, man. What is this weed? I can't do shit. I could not focus on anything, bruh. Well, I say anything, but I really mean anything positive. As if I were to let myself slip for even just a moment that day, I could feel every single cell in my body. And when I'm that freakishly high and I start focusing on that little ache I have in my back or the speed of my heart rate, it takes me to Tweak Town real quick. I was trying to keep myself busy as best I could, but everything I did, I was either reminded about the horrors of P. Diddy or started overanalyzing if that pork chop I ate 5 hours earlier might have been undercooked and about to give me some food poisoning. Which what the fuck am I gonna do then? I can't call the ambulance. I'm baked as fuck, and I'm in the US. It will cost me like 50 grand, bruh. Thankfully though, like with all grass highs, it's all in your head, and unless you took some Point Eddies, it starts wearing off in a couple hours. So all in all, I learned that Moonrock is way more crazy than I thought, and that I should probably revisit its more potent brother Sunrock as well, cause this trip left me wondering what would happen if I smoked that shit properly. Thanks for watching, subscribe, bye! Blazing with people is a lot different than blazing alone. Because whereas being alone, you can just let your mind drift to wherever, if you're with others, you have to, well, at least you should, understand the general vibe and direction of the convos and interactions. Unfortunately, however much you might try to be unbiased, you will discover that there are certain people you will want to smoke with again and will always be invited to the sesh. But then there are also dudes who, after you get faded with once, will leave you contemplating if you ever want to consume that za in a social setting again. Or at least with new people, cause you never know if the new guy will be the dude who gets way too intense about everything. Nobody likes this dude, and for a reason. When mofos is faded, they just wanna chill and be happy, but this gremlin finds it necessary to express his deepest resentment or strongest belief in his personal opinions. The group could be talking about some chill like the fragrance of the ocean or the beauty of the sun, and this dude will start spitting out shit like, man, what a day to get lit. No clouds, sunlight on the skin, it's warm, just great. Yeah, man, you're right. What a time to be alive.
You do know about global warming, right? The day we are having is just a byproduct of the disaster that is about to overtake our planet.
Yeah, I know, but shit, I ain't worrying about all that right now. I'm just enjoying the moment, you know?
Well, you should be. Do you know that people like you are the reason why this is all happening? People who don't care and just do whatever they please.
Hey man, chill. I recycle. Plus, I don't even be driving that much, man. I just be walking around.
Whatever. You do you. Just know you're a part of the problem, not the solution. Like I am. I'm like a part of the solution. I'm really cool.
Like screw you, man. Learn to read the room, Mr. I think like this and therefore you must too. But switching things up, the next guy on the list is someone you definitely want in the sesh. The dude who knows a bunch of random but interesting stuff. Bro, I always enjoy it when a dude like this is in the sesh. Instead of pushing some agenda like the previous guy, he always just adds to the convo in a meaningful and interesting way. Like mofos could be talking about some History Channel shit, and this dude would be knowing all the facts and details. He pretty much like the sesh version of Google, but instead of giving you long paragraphs, he hits you with stuff like, guys, even though it's called World War II, it was only fought in Europe. So why it ain't called Europe War 2?
Bro. What?
Nah, but real, I could make a whole video on the stuff I've heard from dudes like this. But the next guy is more of a hit or miss. The dude who rarely smokes. Now, this man either folds under the pressure of the Za and just sits quietly observing everybody like an owl, or instead he becomes one with the Za and becomes a conduit of it, allowing words to flow from the holy plant itself. Plus, I swear, laughter is contagious, and if a dude like this is feeling comfortable, he always 100% of the time finds everything hilarious, and that good vibe rubs off on everybody, boosting everyone's giggles by a good 25%. But as I said, he kind of a hit or miss, so if he doesn't allow the Za to flow through his veins, he'll just sit there quietly giggling by himself like Gollum or something. Yet, you shouldn't hold it against him, cause I think we've all been there, overwhelmed by the power of the green magic. But this next guy is the exact opposite and the universally hated dude at the sesh. The fool who hogs the spliff. No one likes a greedy spliff hogger, especially if he himself did not bring any to the sesh and is just riding on the other's hard-earned Zaza. The excuse this dog always has is,
My tolerance is much higher than all yours, so in reality, we're all getting the same amount.
and I mean, yeah, technically, but still, that's on you. If you haven't been managing your tolerance and been abusing the Za to the point you need to smoke the whole spliff of premium backwood to feel something, then you better bring extra stuff to the sesh. And if you can't afford it, well, start a GoFundMe or something, you goddamn parasite. Shit's pissing me off just thinking about it. But this next guy definitely won't piss you off. In fact, when this dude is rumored to be at the sesh, it's always a must go. I'm talking, of course, about the plug. Now, you might be wondering, why is this guy so great? Why is it a must go when he is at the sesh? Well, the answer to that is, he is the plug, and therefore has a shitload of Zaza, and the best part being, it's usually all free. Bro, I've smoked with the plug many times, and they always bust out that exotic stuff for everybody to enjoy. And honestly, that's just a part of it, because this guy knows a lot about the magic green plant, and I swear, the best thing to talk about when high is Zaza, how it's grown, the differences in strains, the differences in effects. It all becomes 200% more interesting when you blazed. And on top of all that, you know for 100% sure that this dude will never freak out nor ruin the group's vibe because he got too high. Shit, my man might freak out for not being high enough. The first high. I think most of us remember our first time inhaling the Zaza, cause for the unlucky few who got hit with that paranoid pack and started bugging out like that Szechuan sauce dude at McDonald's, they probably wrote off the grass as an unholy manifestation of the devil himself. For me, my first sight was a truly enlightening moment, as I ain't no dum-dum, so I took the proper precautions to ensure I wasn't gonna be laying on the bed having flashbacks cause my mom came home and wanted me to do some chores or something. But anyway, the first time high experience is different for everybody, but it always starts with the securing of the bag. Now, depending on how old you were and where you live, this part of the first high was either the easiest or the most stressful, because nowadays mofos can go to a damn tree and acquire the holiest and strongest grass in the universe like a damn candy bar. But back in the Wild West, you had to deal with these dudes called plugs. And if you were just a normal kid buying an illegal item from some dude named Spider, it was really scary. Like me and my homies always imagined they'd be all tattooed up, packing heat in every pocket, looking like Mike Tyson when he got out of jail. In reality, they were usually just normal dudes trying to make a quick buck. And also, now that I'm older, I've kind of realized all these plugs with tattoos and nicknames like Scorpion or some shit were literally just wannabe thugs who just listened to a bit too much UK drill and made it their whole personality overnight. But anyway, once you secured the bag, you had to move on to setting the time and place. Now, if you had a friend with his own crib or with parents who frequently left the house unattended, this was easy, but if not, well, that's where a lot of these bad trips happened. Mofos were fiending to get high so bad, a lot of them decided, fuck it, let's just get high at school, or something crazy like that. And let me tell you, you gotta mentally be David Goggins if you get high for the first time at school and don't start tweaking. Even after I had smoked up a good amount, I still didn't consider getting high at school a chill experience. It was a mission every single time. Like, however calm you thought you were, all it took was one...
Mr. C, can you tell me the answer to question 14, please? Yeah, sure. So, question 14, well, the answer... Excuse me, Mr. C, are you on something? Well, shit, juvie it is, I guess.
But hey, I do know dudes who did this for their first and survived. And big props to them, just couldn't be me, and I don't recommend it be you either. Another popular option, which was kind of in the middle, was just getting faded outside at the park on a weekend or something. This was much more chill, but the problem of randoms walking around and the fear of getting an unexpected call from your parents or something was still quite prevalent. Also, another downside, coma is quite easily catchable. So if you puffed on that Zaza for too long, you might have gotten a bad trip because you got glued to the park bench. Speaking of puffing for too long, choosing the amount. Last part, but arguably the most important, is obviously choosing the size of the portion. Now, depending on your friends and if they were cats or not, they could have told you anything from,
yeah, man, so, a good first hit is, this entire 1 gram spliff. Inhale it all and, you should feel something.
to,
So yeah, this molecule should be enough for your first time. It's got a good amount of atoms in it.
in reality, it's somewhere in the middle, cause being it's your first time, your tolerance doesn't exist yet, so even smelling some premium wood might have gotten you high. Then again, if the stuff wasn't premium, you might have been left disappointed at barely feeling anything, and writing it off as,
Yeah, I'm just built different, I guess. It don't work on me.
and actually, for some reason, a lot of dudes don't feel anything their first time, including me. I always imagined there being some wall of defense in my body, and with every hit, it got weaker, until finally it broke and opened the floodgates for the green magic to flow through. But there is a final step that a lot of people forget to do, and that is enjoying the high. So yeah, don't try to control it, flow with it. You get me? Especially if you alone. And also, my first, the 5 levels of being high. Now, I bet you've seen a couple videos on this topic, maybe even mine, but since almost a year has passed and my knowledge and understanding of the magic green plant has grown tremendously, I thought it's about time to make the ultimate, definitive, most precise levels of high tier list on planet Earth. And to make it even more fun, for every level, I'ma be getting more high to give an accurate representation of what the level feels and sounds like. So let's get it started with level 1. Microdosed. This is the level where you don't really feel anything per se, but you can tell something is different. You have a slight mood boost and your body might feel a bit more elevated. So like if your legs were sore, they'd probably be more sore now, but if you're lying on your bed, well, its comfortability is probably up about by 10 to 15%. Nothing crazy, but it is noticeable. This, however, isn't enough to give you the giggles, so that Amy Schumer comedy special will still leave you wondering if my vagina is actually comedy or just poorly done slapstick humor. And since I'm currently at this level, I can tell you it also has no negative side effects, so I can still do everything without worrying if I'm too high. Anyway, let's move on to the first exciting level, and that is level 2. I'm feeling it. So you're feeling it, eh? Well, me too. This is the level where that Amy Schumer special might actually forcefully steal a giggle or two from you, but not because it's actually funny, it's more like you're laughing at her rather than with her. Anyway, since you're now feeling it, you also might be feeling that movie a bit more, or that video game. Shit, you might be feeling your own jokes a bit more. Got you laughing at your own thoughts, fool. This is also the optimal high if you still got stuff to do. Well, to be honest, if you got stuff to do, probably better to not be high, but at this level, it's still definitely doable, just a bit more difficult. Another way to look at it is, this is the high the workers at Subway are usually on. Although I have seen mofos way beyond this there too, but for the most part, this is optimal cause the loud hasn't got you moving slow-mo quite yet. As for me, I'm still able to read this script and pronounce my words just fine, so you probably can't even tell I'm high right now. But now it's time to get to the first level where a mofo can feel too high if he's not experienced, and level 3. Yeah, I'm pretty high. So here we are, pretty high. This is the point where, at least for me, doing anything besides leisurely activities is hard. Not impossible, nor undoable, but hard. If we take that Amy Schumer comedy special for reference again, as for some reason I like doing, it might just maybe have become funny, but you also realize you just high, so you turn it off and watch something else. Also, this is the first level where some thoughts might have become uncontrollable in the senses you just can't help but dive deeper into the fact fact that the bomb dropped on Hiroshima was almost 1,600 times less powerful than the Tsar bomb created and detonated by the Soviets in 1961 as a show of power to the US. But then you find out there's something called an antimatter bomb, which could be even more destructive, but it's only a theory. But then maybe the US is developing it in Area 51 or something. Yeah, I think you get the point. But there is one sensation that is more powerful than your random thoughts, and that of course is the munchies. Coupled with the fact you're probably rocking some dry mouth right now, this in my opinion is the best level to be at if you're trying to stuff your face with enough trans fats to feed 50 hungry children. But you know, you already ate it also. Anyway, moving on to level 4. Faded beyond belief. This is the point where if you're not in a safe space, you kinda screwed. Well, not always, but at this level, it's become almost impossible to practice rational thinking. I mean, if you were diving deeper into that nuclear bomb stuff at the previous level, then this is a point where you might start actually believing you are Oppenheimer himself. This stage is really not the best if you're looking to focus on a movie or video game or really anything because, well, your attention span is at the mercy of the Zaza, and to actually enjoy this high, you just gotta go with the flow. As for me, it's getting pretty hard to read the script. If I look at the words for long enough, they kinda look like some ancient Chinese hieroglyphs. But anyway, if you're an actual lunatic, maniac, psychopath, Zaza destroyer, and considering hitting that gravity one more time, then be prepared for level 5. Shadow Realm. I told you, bro, you gotta be a maniac to get to this level because the plane of existence you on now is so different from being non-high, you probably feeling and looking like a goddamn alien. I mean, bro, your eyes are so red and you feel so disconnected from your body that if you look in the mirror, you'll probably think, bro, is that really me? I'm so fucked up. Wait. Ah, shit, I'm in the Shadow Realm again, aren't I? And now that you realize you're in the Shadow Realm, you either stop the trip by going to sleep or level unknown, exploring the Shadow Realm. This level doesn't require smoking more. All it really requires you to do is just go outside and explore the world that in many ways has become the upside down from Stranger Things. Cause at this level, rational thinking has been completely thrown out the window and your brain has reverted to factory settings as of when you were just born. So if you see a streetlight flickering, for example, if you were normal, you just think, they really should fix that. Compared to now, oh shit, bro, this is totally one of those slasher scenes where once I walk over the streetlight, he's gonna shift me up, isn't he? Nah, man, fuck this, I'm out of here. At least, I don't know, that's how it feels to me when I achieve the pinnacle of high and am wandering the world outside. But now, guys, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go to sleep, cause saying words in my mouth is fucking hard. Okay, see you in the next one. Sometimes you do stuff that you shouldn't do, or at least you thought you shouldn't do, like mixing a mega pack of magic mushrooms with a ton of ultra fine Amsterdam Zaza. But I'll be damned if I was gonna give up on my one chance of pushing the limits of wonder and end up being some grumpy old man talking about what could have been when I was your age. Shut up, Grandpa. When you was my age, you was a scarf knitting, romance watching, Toyota Prius driving, zero host getting pussy. Now shut up and give me my $20 birthday money, you fool. Anyway, so it begins with me and my brother in Amsterdam, yet again. It's our last day there and we're looking to end this trip off with a bang. We stumbled into one of those magic stores that sold all of these crazy substances, literally shelves stocked with little vials of liquid that had specific effects comparable to every drug you can think of. But we had our eyes set on something a little more natural, a little more psychedelic. A mega pack of Space Hawaiians. We grabbed those shrooms and brought them up to the counter, feeling like some kids at a toy store buying their first Beyblades. So, how much should we take? All of it? What's the trip like? Cool. Anything else we should know? Don't be a pussy, I guess. Can we mix this with the Zaza? No, do not mix it with the Zaza. Okay. Jeez, can't be that bad. Ah, okay. Well, if you want to end up like that guy, be my guest. But no, you were warned. So anyway, we got the shrooms and left the store. But after what that guy said, I was low-key scared of these things. And on our way to the hotel, I started Googling like a machine. Reading every forum post about mixing shrooms and weed. And well, I'd say about 80% said not to do it. But man, the other 20% were hyping it up like crazy. Saying that it was the coolest experience they've ever had. And how you become one with the universe or some shit. We got to the hotel and instantly downed those space Hawaiians and started waiting for it to kick. Hey, is it hitting it? Nah, not yet. You feel anything? Nah, still nothing. Then bang! Bruh, I'm feeling it. Yeah, boy. We started doing the usual mushroom things, like looking at stuff, thinking about stuff, talking about stuff. But after a while, we got the genius idea to go to the red light district. If you don't know what that is, well, it's pretty much a street full of sex workers lined up trying to get you to come pay for that sloppy toppy 5,000. We went outside and brought our massive joint with us and started walking to where the hoe's at, literally, and start puffing that hash. Mind that we are already completely shroomed up, so I'm a little worried about what this gonna do to us. It's either gonna be cool as fuck or not so cool. So by the time we arrived at our destination, we had smoked that spliff to non-existence. And man, I was high. I was so high that I thought I was in a fucking cartoon. Like actually, the world didn't look how it usually looked. I felt like me and my brother were pretty much aliens walking among these local people trying to fit in. The building seemed tilted and people's faces were blurry to me. But thankfully, that didn't freak me out because I was just so amazed of how goddamn soinked I was. At some point, I started really feeling my brain, like not just a piece of meat in my skull, but the neurons that were constantly firing off. Meaning if I thought about moving my hand, I could feel my brain sending out the signal and how the electric pulse traveled through my body into my hand. So basically what I'm saying is, I felt like I was actually controlling this giant piece of meat that is my body like a goddamn mech suit. Anyway, what made this whole experience so trippy was the things we saw. The sex workers in the district were sitting or standing right behind these big windows and always had a red light to signal that they're here for business. But they seemed more like dolls than humans. They all looked the same. Giant fake lips, face painted with tons of makeup, and these skimpy ass dresses. Not gonna lie bro, it was low key freaking us out. Cause every time you walked past one of them, they looked at you, staring with those doll eyes, waiting for you to come closer so they can suck out your soul. Nah, they don't actually do that, but you know, that's the type of stuff you might believe if you mix cannabis with shrooms. We ended up walking around for like 1.5 hours until we got tired and went back to the hotel. But bro, those 1.5 hours, I swear, I was not on planet Earth. That mixture must have teleported me to the amazing world of Gumball universe or some shit, cause no way the things I felt and saw were of this world. But overall, we didn't freak out or have a bad trip or anything, so I'd rate this trip a 10 out of 10. Cause we had no issues really. After getting back to the hotel, we had the usual munchies and sleepiness. So really, that kush helped us out. Cause my experience with shrooms until this point was they don't let you sleep. But thanks to that fine natural grass, I slept like a baby. High school parties, one of the only places on earth where you can see a mofo jug a bottle of vodka, do a backflip, land on his head, then proceed to get up and go spit some game to the host's mom, and you'd still be like, meh. Like, these places are so filled with hormone energy and axe spray, the only comparison you can really make is high school locker rooms. But even them shits ain't got nothing on the parties. I mean, you basically take these Neanderthals from their locker rooms, throw them in a big house, add unlimited liquor, and some baddies all dressed to get these motherfucking cavemen horny, and you got yourself a situation where if the house doesn't burn down and no one dies, it's considered a success. Like one time I was at a party with the homie Salamander and we were just camped out on the couch when this mofo pulled up on us like, yo, is it just me or is Brittany totally eyeing me in the corner there? I don't know. Looks like she's just talking with her friends, bro. Nah. I think she wants to do, if you know what I'm saying. I'ma go check it out. Holy shit, bro. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I think the alcohol disinfected my wounds. Anyway, I'm gonna go raise up.
Like bro, ain't no other place on planet Earth where a mofo can fall on a glass table, get cut up and covered in alcohol, and still only have one objective in mind.
Must get some hoes.
But not everybody's at the parties to pull baddies. There is a select few that have abandoned the genetic desire to get hoes and instead go to these places to get as shit-faced as humanly possible. Like, these are dudes that after graduating 10 years down the line, you'll go back to your school's town and walk down the street and be like, wait, hold up.
Is that Brent? Hey, can you spare some change? Can you give $1, bro? I needed to buy, you know what I want. Oh, shit, it is. Oh, okay. Just walk past him. I don't think he'll recognize me. Hey, yo, see? Is that you? Me? No, I'm Jefferson. Nah, you see, I remember you. Hey, you think you can spare some change? I'm gonna go to the sick high school rager tomorrow, and I could use some. Sorry, no, I'm Jefferson, and I have no idea who you are, so I'm gonna just leave.
But bro, I swear, you can foresee everybody's future by just looking around in a high school party. I mean, usually the function's participants were divided into groups. You got the baddies, the jocks, the nerds, and then you got the motherfuckers who pull up just to start some shit. Like, these 3 dudes I used to see at all the parties, let's just call them Peter, Tom, and Jeff, were there just to be menaces, bro. These the types of dudes to root for Joker, not Batman, bro. Straight super villains. Every time you saw them pull up to a function, you knew some shit was about to go down. They come with a bottle of absolute vodka, sit down at the table, and start slamming shots one by one. And every time they finish that bottle, they'd get up and start walking up on groups, just passive aggressively trying to start shit. But in their hearts, there was a bunch of pussios. Like, before they got that absolute in their system, or if they weren't all together, they ain't say a word. Like, I remember at one party, I was bugging off some liquor and Zaza when I saw one of these so-called tough guys sitting alone, probably waiting for his friends to bring some absolute so he could drown his insecurities. And I was kinda bored, so I walked up on him purely out of curiosity and asked, "Hey bro, I got a question."
Yeah, what?
Like, why y'all mofos always trying to start shit? Like, don't y'all know nobody likes you? Doesn't that bother you?
What you mean, man? You got a problem?
Slow down there, John Jones. I ain't your wife, and I got no problem. I think it's you who's got the problem, bro.
Hey, what's going on here? Is there a problem? Hey, what's going on here? Is there a problem?
Bro, y'all a bunch of NPCs. Man, y'all probably don't even know what that means. Anyway, have fun with the vodka, you scoundrels. And from that day forward, I was like these dudes' arch nemesis, I swear. I mean, every time I saw them at a party, they gave me the stank eye. Although, because they were all like 5'10" unathletic drunks, and I'm a 6'6" athlete, these dudes avoided me like some taxes, bro. Which pissed me off so much, cause I was just itching to beat the shit out of them. But I ain't them, so I would never start something like that. One thing I did start though, mostly with the homie Salamander, was that after party smoke sesh. I mean, on God, I was feeling like a prophet, cause as we all know, the Zaza is a great cure for a hangover, so even though no one really wanted to be high during the party, after, it was a whole different story. Mofos just appeared out of nowhere, man, I swear, these dudes were like zombies from The Walking Dead. As soon as they smelled the Zaza, they got their drunk asses up from the bathtub or from under the table and started walking towards it. I swear, man, it was like AoE farming in an MMORPG or something. Grab the spliff, walk around the party without looking back, and once I got to the sesh spot, I turn around and there's like 10 different dudes all saying the same thing.
Hey, yo, you think I can get a couple puffs out of that thing, bro?
And man, what profit would I be if I ain't give these hungover dudes a taste of that good? Although sometimes I was tempted to say no, just to see the hope drain from their eyes and be refilled with the agony and suffering of the hangover. But in reality, I never had it in my heart to say no, and sometimes that bitch ain't even make the full rotation. Place was looking like the Last Supper, just without the food. Anyway, high school parties were always crazy, and if you're still in school, I recommend you attend them as much as you can without screwing up your grades, cause after school, you ain't never gonna experience that shit again, bruh. Now, edibles, part of the holy trinity when it comes to getting as faded as humanly possible. And the reason they are so potent is that in the act of cooking the Zaza, the THC transforms into something beyond its normal powers and becomes Super Saiyan Zaza, or 11-hydroxy-THC, but let's stick to Super Saiyan cause that other name isn't really cool. Anyway, if you're an OG subscriber, you know my first time doing edibles was quite a crazy experience, but I wouldn't call it anything else than, yeah, I was really freaking high. But this time, the abominations we made were no mere first-timer dose. We threw everything we had in there. The day started like any other, except I had just gotten back from Barcelona the previous night and was a bit tired. But you see, there was this really cool movie in the cinema called Oppenheimer. Anyway, me and Rizix had planned to watch Oppenheimer in the cinema sometime before August, but being us, we obviously wanted to be baked during this time, and well, the movie was 3 hours long, so just a quick hit wasn't gonna cut it. So we decided on something we hadn't done in years, that obviously being edibles. The only problem was, we don't know how to manage time, and well, once we started actually making the things, the movie had already begun. But although I do love Cillian Murphy, let's be honest, the main part of this journey was the edibles, not Oppenheimer. So we were like, screw it, we only gonna miss like the first 30 minutes. Which, if we had actually read some reviews on the movie, we would have known it's not something you go to 30 minutes late while bugging up the Zaza and the world's strongest edible. Yeah, we also, just for safe measures, smoked a bit before too. But anyway, once we made our abominations and the whole house was smelling like Snoop Dogg's beard, we sat down to eat these deep fried to get you deeply fried cookies. Ready? Ready. Bruh, they're so dry, man. Yeah, so they were awful in the taste department, but in the how messed up they gonna get you apartment, well, you'll find out soon enough. As I said earlier, just for safety, in case they were duds, we also smoked up a bit before, and we're feeling like medium-sized, cold on the kitchen counter pizza rolls, even before the cookies hit. As we arrived in the cinema, we were, well, a little bit scared, but also excited to find out what these monstrous things were going to do to us, because, well, we hadn't done edibles in ages, and knew our tolerance towards them was zero. After buying popcorn and a medium drink, we walked in the cinema, took our seats, and sat down to watch the movie, which had been going on for 40 minutes at that point, but we thought we could still enjoy it, and we did until... Bro, I could not stop laughing, and that's when I knew the edibles had hit. Now, up until this point, I consider myself a man of pure willpower and mental fortitude, and that there's no way some green plant was gonna get me bugging. And for the first 30 minutes after feeling them hit, it was true, until I got the ultimate disability the Zaza can curse you with. I'm talking, of course, about manual breathing. I was sat in that cinema like a full-on tweaker, and bro, it did not feel good. Like, however hard I tried to destroy the Super Saiyan Saw with my mind, I just couldn't. And Rizix was low-key tweaking too. Plus the movie, well, it was kinda shit. And before you roast me in the comments, I think Oppenheimer is a great movie. Just arriving 40 minutes late and bugging off Super Saiyan Saw wasn't the best idea for a story-focused film. So, we decided to get the fuck out of there. And bro, I don't even know how to describe what I felt and saw once we opened the gates to the outside world. Bro, I was feeling like my senses were turned up to 10,000% overdrive, and bruh, I'ma be honest, I was not seeing straight. So although we drove to the cinema, we were in no shape to drive back, so we just started paddling our demon eyes looking butts home. Until at some point, we found some e-scooters, so we rented those and just started blasting away. And what an amazing time that was. Like, every switch of scenery felt like a brand new biome. Like, at some point, we took a little detour through a park, and bro, we felt like we was in a damn jungle. Like, even the slight rumble and turbulence we got from the road made it feel like we were true explorers on not e-scooters, but one of those safari exploring buggies riding through unexplored wildland. But anyway, once we got back home, I decided to look in the mirror to see if I looked as high as I felt, and well, I looked more high. Like, I didn't even know your eyes can get that red, but there they were, looking like the eyes of the damn devil himself. Speaking of getting high AF, we doing a smoke sesh on the Discord on Sunday, where it's mine and your job to get absolutely bedazzled and just chill the fuck out. Anyway, link for the disc will be in the pinned comment, so make sure you join and pull up on the sesh. Anyway, back to me looking in the mirror. As I looked in the mirror and saw nothing but an empty vessel wandering the wrong plane of existence staring back, I got a bit frightened, cause man, I swear, my reflection was not moving in sync with me yet again. But this time, it was even worse, cause I was like 4 times higher than I was when I first did edibles. So what happened next, you might be wondering? I was bugging out, looking like an uncooked steak, and I couldn't focus on anything longer than 1 second. Well, I went to sleep. Cause one good thing I will say about the trip, the comfortability I felt in my bed was unlike anything I've ever felt before. My blanket was just the perfect temperature, my mattress the perfect fit, and my pillow the perfect place to lay your head. And because of that, and I'm not exaggerating on this, the very second I closed my eyes, I was asleep. Well, not like deep sleep, but nap sleep. Anyway, after closing my eyes, in about 3 minutes, I was completely knocked out. And well, I slept so much like a baby, I actually believe the Zaza manipulated my very core and reverted my cells and body shape to that of when I was 3 months old to enable me to get the full experience of sleeping like a baby. Only problem was though, as I woke up like literally 10 hours later, I was still high AF. Not like can't see straight high, but like just hit the BONG high. To be honest, I was just amazed, cause I knew if we had smoked that amount of Zaza we put in the cookies, we might have been really lit, but nothing like we were from the cookies. And after that day, I have now learned my lesson that actual strong edibles are more comparable to mushrooms than normal bud. Buying from the plug is always an experience, cause unless you're super tight with him, you never know if you're gonna get the leftover oregano Reggie pack he scraped from the bottom of his grinder, or if you lucky and the RNG god smile upon you, you might just get the finest organic grass-fed grass there is on planet Earth. But alas, most plugs keep that quality stuff for only the loyalist of customers or new buyers. For me, it was the latter. It begins with me and the main homie Salamander. We had just gotten home from school on a Friday and had scraped our money together for a night of hitting the Spliffington and playing video games. Now, usually it was Salamander who secured the bag, cause I didn't really have too many connects. Unfortunately, this time he was unable to find the holy Zaza from his usual catalog of plugs. But we didn't let that discourage us, cause we knew if there is a will, there is a way. So both me and Salamander started hitting up everybody we knew who dabbled with the powers of the green plant, and it wasn't looking too good. Altogether, we wrote about 10 people, half of which just ignored us, and the other half just said they were out. So, as we sat there on the couch, hope dwindling, sadness emerging, and worst of all, no Zaza approaching, we were about to call it a day, when one of the dudes who had initially ignored us sent out a beacon of light. Yeah, I know a guy. He just started plugging, so I can't vouch for the quality, but he definitely got some. Now, if you've ever been in a situation like this, you know it is one of the best feelings in the world when you've almost given up, but in the last second, you get that holy text of, yeah, how much? But even though we were pretty stoked, we were also a little bit wary, because this $20 we had saved up was the equivalent of 20 million in today's money, and because this guy was new and no info was given on the quality, we were scared of getting a bag of oregano. And I mean, at the time, we both thought all plugs are grueling gangsters ready to kill you on sight if you so much as make the wrong sound. So if it really was a bag of oregano, there was nothing we could do about it. Anyway, the time comes for us to meet up with this mysterious plug, and the instructions he gave us were to come to this rundown gas station's loading area in the back at 8 p.m. sharp. So we did. As we were standing there at 7:58 p.m., we could only imagine what vicious, heinous, devious killer would come to greet us. So yeah, we hyped him up a little too much, but all that mattered now was the grass and if it was good or not. We went through the usual plug dialogue options like, yo, what's up? Yeah bro, can't wait to get suited today. This that good, etc. Until he finally revealed the grass, and what I witnessed to this day I find absurd. The grass was golden. NANI? Not in like shiny gold, but it was this yellowish color with green accents. Beautiful. And the smell. Bro opened that bag up for us to sniff, but it was not necessary, as the smallest opening in that Ziploc baggie consumed the entire area with the finest fragrance imaginable. Oh, okay, well, finest is the wrong word probably. The shit smelled like cat piss, but that's a good thing with Zaza. So we gave up our $20 with no hesitation and returned to Salamander's place with this golden grass of the gods. Now, usually, we would just roll up a spliff and consume the Zaza like that, but as this seemed to be legendary material, and we didn't want to waste even a single microgram, we made a makeshift can that would allow us to ration this gram to the maximum. So, now it was time to hit the Zaza, and it went something like this. Are you ready? Shit, you know it. Here goes nothing. You good, bro? Yeah, you gotta hit this shit, man. Hey, you good? You good, bro? You hear me? You good?
Yeah, man, this is some good stuff.
This shit was heavenly. It was not of this world, I swear. Now, I'm not sure if it was because our tolerance was pretty much zero at the time, or it was really grass descending from heaven. Probably a mix of both. But one thing I do know, that was the highest I had ever been up until that point. And well, as we know, when you were really high, you don't remember much the night after. So unfortunately, I don't know exactly what we talked about or what we did, but I do remember that we caught a major case of the Joker's laughing gas cause we found everything hilarious. We were so goddamn high, it took us a solid 20 minutes to navigate the PS4 menu to launch our game of Call of Duty. And when we did launch it, we were cognitively impaired. Felt like the controller was inverted or some shit. But safe to say, that Friday night we were truly blessed by the plug. And we went on to exclusively buy from that guy until he stopped plugging 1 month later. Mushrooms. They are famous for their mindset-changing properties, but to me, they have always just been a funny fungus that makes you see stuff. Until the day me and my brother decided to do something this bearded guy called the heroic dose. And well, I can now confidently say that Mario is one crazy-ass motherfucker. The journey began in Amsterdam, like always, where we were going to hopefully enjoy our time in DEF CON 1, a festival so big these dudes made their own currency and segregated the population like the freaking pyramid system. Anyway, because this rager was 4 days long and we thought it would be cool to do something besides grass and drank for the whole time, we paddled our butts to a smart shop where, well, you guessed it, they sold mushrooms. But this time it was different. You see, a year ago, me and my brother did them for the first time, and because of that, we're extra cautious about the size of the portion, which led to us taking too little to truly call it a trip. We did end up mixing that shit with grass though, and it freaking blew our minds. That story is on the top right corner right now. But anyway, this time we were looking for the true experience, the type of shit that will have you questioning your very fabric of existence, cause well, we just built different like that. So as we were googling the right amount 200-pound behemoth should take to get the full experience, we stumbled upon this video of this YouTube scientist talking about what he called the heroic dose. After dividing the 10 with a 5 and multiplying that with a 69, we came to the scientific conclusion, we gotta eat a shit ton of mushrooms. And for that, we had to buy a ton. So we ended up purchasing 1 mega pack of truffles each, which is already considered a lot, but we also bought 1 extra that we were going to split to make it a ultra trip. Now, unfortunately, these truffles weren't allowed in the premises of DEF CON 1, so we did the only logical thing and hid them in the woods surrounding the festival area, which is important because this would end up making our journey 10 times more difficult. Anyway, 2 days went by of just chilling when we finally felt comfortable enough in our accommodation to decide, let's go get those goddamn mushrooms. And with that, we started our 10-mile hike to secure them things. To be fair, it was our own stupidity that led us to walking 10 miles instead of 1 because, well, you know, we Gen Z at the end of the day and we don't know how to read no damn map. But regardless, we powered through with only our clothes, DEF CON wristband, and our trustworthy flip-flops. And thankfully, no one had stolen our hidden stash, so now like a pair of wild animals, we demolished those shrooms looking like Mike Tyson on Impulsive for the next 3 minutes. Once we got that done, we walked back to the festival with the intention of going back to our tent. But unfortunately, having walked 10 miles in flip-flops in the scorching sun, once we saw 2 hammocks under the shade of a tree, we folded like a Nintendo DS and laid down and waited for what was to come. And at about the 30-minute mark, I felt the first bit of kick, indicated by the prolonged interest in this random guy who walked past us with red shades and a Swiss flag worn like a cape. I sat on that hammock wondering, where is that guy going to? What's like his story? Is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? If he's a bad guy and he's about to do something villainous, I could have stopped him. Will this haunt me forever? Oh wait, I'm tripping. Snap out of it, Mario. And that was the start of our heroic journey. We then proceeded to bounce back and forth questioning, what you feeling, bro? Until finally, ResX found the strength to stand up from that hammock with the bones surrounded by jelly that were our legs. Which also gave me the power to stand up and start wandering around the magical place that was DEF CON. The more we walked, the more trippy shit got. We truly felt like we were in some type of medieval town from the fact that there were no buildings, only shacks, and the people there were all either drunk, high, or both. Some of the stages were also kinda scary because you see DEF CON is a a hardstyle festival, and in hardstyle there are many subgenres, ranging anywhere from remixes of popular songs to sentences like "Dance with the Devil" or "Long live the Antichrist," followed by a beat drop so strong the common man would mistake what he hears as noise, not music. Anyway, as you can imagine, some of the more hardcore styles were also accompanied with more hardcore people and more hardcore stages, which, well, when you're bugging off what we were, it got a bit intense. And it was truly a test of our characters, cause anybody can be a tough guy when they're drunk, but when you're at your most vulnerable and every thought is significant and uncontrollable, it's pretty hard keeping your cool. But in that moment, I was very thankful for my brother, because although we are both Chads in our own right, that day the power of a single Chad was not enough, and we had to really pull our power together to actually enjoy the trip and not bug out. Once we hit the 1.5 hour mark though, we randomly stumbled upon our friend who was there with us at DEF CON, and it was a very nice mid-quest point. We shared our experiences, explained that we are currently on another plane of existence, had some laughs. Oh, and we also showed him our disgusting feet that we acquired from walking 10 miles in flip-flops, which he one-upped us by showing his messed up right eye, which he got from getting dust on it or something. After that, we proceeded to the final boss, our tent, which might not seem all that scary, but at this point, we had ascended to a place we had never even thought to exist. A place of pure mystery, questioning yourself and everything you know. The peak. Unfortunately, I can't really talk about most of the stuff we discussed because it was some real deep shit. But I will say it was one of the toughest experiences I've had. It was scorching hot, we were 1,000 miles from home, and we were just not in the correct dimension, bro. Coupled with the fact the tent was damn orange and illuminated everything to look like Donald Trump's tan. And bro, the moving patterns, they were endless. But at the end of it, we walked away with a lot of knowledge about ourselves and broke barriers in our minds we didn't know were there. So this heroic dose, just like the name suggests, is only for people who are courageous and strong enough to withstand it, because this was no easy smoke grass and play Xbox trip. This was a full-on journey. I'd even go as far to say this was, or at least felt like, a main storyline quest in our lives, which after completion we really did feel accomplished that we endured. Wake and bake. One who does not understand the true implications of this act may find himself overwhelmed by its powers. Yet this holy practice has a special place in every stoner's heart, for it can only be truly enjoyed if one forfeits his entire life energy and hopes to receive the blessing of the Za gods. For if one does not concede to the Za, I will be consumed by it. I have witnessed one too many proud, ignorant soldiers underestimate the wake and bake and end up overwhelmed by its mighty force. But if you're confused by my holy transcript, I'll put it in terms you might understand better. It's not a wake and bake if you don't fucking wake up. Dudes be out here talking about, ooh, I love waking and baking. It makes my whole day so much less stressful. Yeah, of course it does, Dinglebob, if all you do after is watch TikTok, order Uber Eats, fill your belly to the brim, and take a 3-hour nap. But some mofos still disrespect the holy practice by literally doing nothing with the extravagant mega high of the wake and bake. And yes, no matter what science says, I'm here to tell you getting high as soon as you wake up is a lot stronger and different than getting high, let's say, in the evening. And my theory is that right after waking up, your body and brain are not functioning at full capacity yet, and are weak against foreign substance attacks like THC. So when you inhale that beautiful Mary Jane right after waking up, your body's defense systems are down, leading to more of the THC slipping through to your brain, therefore getting suited as fuck. And since the Za ain't nothing but an amplifier of your senses, feelings, and thoughts, since waking up is hard to begin with, cause I don't know about you, but I personally gotta recite every damn inspirational Rocky Balboa quote to muster up the strength to get up in the morning. If you're high, that shit is like 10 times harder. And that's proven by most of these mofos who claim they like waking and baking. Dudes get high and just stare at the wall and watch the day go by. Like, there really are levels to this shit. And since your boy waked and baked every single day for a whole summer, I have gone through all of them and am qualified to tell you it starts at level 1. The couch potato. This is the state you're probably gonna be in for the first couple times you get high right in the morning. And it ain't nothing to be ashamed of, because those first times are like a learning experience. Once the baking is planned, when you go to sleep, it'll have you all excited like, oh boy, can't wait to get high as soon as I wake up and go on an adventure. But when the time comes and you smoke that exotic, you soon realize that this shit hits different. Not only are you baked out of your mind, you also feel like your eyelids have 10-pound weights on them. But even so, you will try your best to go on that high adventure you have been hyping up. But unfortunately, the most you can do is gather the strength to go to the kitchen and make a sandwich. Which after, you'll probably take that right back to your room, put on some Netflix or some, watch it for a couple minutes and realize, I'm not leaving this bed anytime soon, am I? And boom, you either fall asleep or lie in your bed watching Netflix like the potato you are for the whole high. But if you're like me and don't accept that as a successful and fun wake and bake, you'll do it again some other day, and this time you're better educated on the powers of the morning Zaza, which will lead you to level 2. I will persevere. This time, you know what to expect and have mentally prepared for the tiredness and overall lack of motivation to do stuff by the wake and bake. So just like before, you decide to try the holy practice, but this time decide to brush your teeth and maybe take a shower before the bake. Just cause you know one of the hardest parts about getting up in the morning is the fact you can't just stand up and start your day. You gotta do your morning routine first. After all that, you're finally ready to hit your BONG. Anyway, now that you've completed the wake and bake and were smart enough to do a bit of your morning routine first, the 10-pound weights that were attached to your eyelids previously have now lightened up to about 4-pound weights. And although every fiber of your being is still telling you to go lie down, you fight through and attempt to start your day with something lightly productive, like going to the store or cleaning your room. And if you do end up going to the store like I did, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's a trap. Because you will most likely find yourself admiring every food item your eyeballs gaze upon, and we all know when the munchies hit, well, you either rise to the occasion or you have a bad trip. Hey, I'm sorry, I don't make the rules, I just follow them. So you go back home, do your best impression of Nicocado Avocado, and find yourself watching YouTube or Netflix on your wretched bed again. Good try, but not quite the wake and bake epic adventure you were hoping for. But this time, you swear on your mama. Well, better not do that, but anyway, you swear that next time you will have an awesome wake and bake, which will lead you to level 3.
It's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
You've had enough of this BS. You're done folding to the power of the Zaza and being that 1990s generic movie stoner who smokes grass, plays video games, and eats Doritos all day. So now, you do what you did previously, but instead of going to your local Wonderland 7-Eleven, you instead go to the gym or just do something productive that doesn't involve binge watching the new One Piece Netflix series. But this level is in reality quite subjective. It all depends on what your idea of a successful wake and bake is. For me, I'm happy with my wake and bake if after the high dissipates and reality starts to shape back in, I don't feel all hazy and sad from the fact that I did a wake and bake. This also means sometimes it's okay to hit that Mary Jane immediately after waking and just playing video games the entire time. If you plan a day like that ahead and enter the morning with no desire to do anything but lay on your couch and eat 50% off birthday cakes you got from the discount aisle at Walmart, then that's fine. One of my funnest and favorite high memories came from a wake and bake with Riz X, where immediately after waking, we spontaneously decided to get faded, and after that, we were a bit bored, so we decided to look at how much money we had in our bank balance, and well, things weren't looking too good, but we were able to scrape together $200 and went on Facebook Marketplace to search for fun items for the high mind. And oh boy, we sure did strike gold, because we found this guy selling an Xbox Series S with 2 controllers close to our area, so we pulled up, acquired the box, found a free trial for Xbox Game Pass, and played a bunch of split-screen games and ate McNuggets all goddamn day, which in my book has got to be a successful wake and bake, but it would have been an awful one if we hadn't planned ahead and occupied the day's schedule with only 2 things in mind: smoke grass and have fun. But one thing I will say about the holy practice known as the wake and bake is that it's best enjoyed as a special occasion, and that's because them shits absolutely demolish your tolerance, and I speak from experience. We went from a bag lasting 1 week to 1 day and 3 days of waking and baking. Like, I don't know exactly why, but that shit sure isn't sustainable financially nor productivity wise. It also has to do with the fact when you wake and bake, you usually smoke throughout the whole day, but when you smoke up after a long and productive day of grinding, you only do so once or twice before you get tired and go to bed, giving your body ample time to recover from the THC. Think about it like this: if you wake and bake and then smoke throughout the day, that ganja is constantly building up, so your body never really has time to digest that THC through your system. But if you smoke only every 24 hours or so, you're giving your body time to recover and remove the Zaza from your brain, making it so you don't have to smoke a whole spliff just to feel a little bit high. But shit, I'm not a scientist, so all this stuff might be BS, but I don't know, it kinda makes sense, doesn't it? I think we can all agree that the magic broccoli can make you more creative. However, how does that creativity translate outside the realm of Yodiland is a whole different question. Now, me being the certified weed scientist, doctor, officer, and more, I've had a lot of sometimes stupid, sometimes brilliant ideas, well, bugging off the Zaza. Like this one time when me and my brother were just enjoying a beautiful summer day outside on the terrace, faded AF, when by the gods I was struck with an idea so brilliant and great I just couldn't stop until it came to fruition. And what was this idea? Well, it went something like this.
Oh my. Hey bro, I just got this great idea that I think we should do right now.
Okay, what is it?
I got 2 words for you. Virtual reality.
And what transpired after this is one of the most sad, stressful, and heartbreaking experiences of my high career. Although my brother was hesitant at first, after I explained why virtual reality will quite literally change our lives forever, he agreed to it. The only problem now was we were broke. Well, not completely, but these damn VR headsets cost anywhere from $400 to $1,000 new, and ain't no way we were about to drop a bag like that on some VR porn.
Games, I mean VR games. That's what I was saying.
So we did what any other broke 20-year-old with a materialistic dream would do. We went on Facebook Marketplace, where after a while of searching, we found a Oculus Rift S being sold for $150, which is a great deal. I mean, it cost $400 new, plus it was only 20 miles away, so we could be there in like 20 minutes. So obviously, we went ahead and bought it, without really asking any questions nor looking through the description of the post, which mentioned a cat nibbling on the cord, but hey, what does that have to do with anything? It was fucking broken, okay, that's what it had to do with it. But not in a won't even turn on way of broken. It was like work for 20 minutes and then doesn't broken. Plus, it didn't even use a normal HDMI cable, so we had to buy a damn $50 adapter for it as well, that we haven't used ever since this incident with VR. After like 2 days of screwing around with the settings and trying to fix the nibbled on cable, we got it to work for the record-breaking time of 1 hour. Yes, 1 hour of virtual reality. But, you know, we spent like 10 hours getting it all set up and fixing the damn errors. Plus we dropped $200 on the supplies, so, yeah. And, I think it's time I confess my sins right here on the channel. After a week of having the VR headset, we sold it. For a profit. To an unexpected kid who probably was saving up money for months to get it. Sorry. But it's a dog-eat-dog world, and I put in the description the same damn thing. A cat nibbled on the wire. So yeah, I think the kid learned a valuable lesson worth more than the $200 he gave me for the broken headset. I mean, the VR headset. But it's not all bad, cause I've had some pretty banger ideas while high as well. Like this one time when I was inhaling that broccoli and stumbled upon these high stickman channels that were popping up, and I thought to myself, wait, hold up, I'm high. I know how to use Microsoft Paint. I can do this. And look, it was one of those ideas that you have while high, but it was actually a good idea. Very unlike this one time when me and a couple homies were hotboxing in the car when I came up with the genius plan to go sledding in the middle of winter whilst completely blasted, whilst only having on a hoodie, and whilst only having our damn legs for transportation cause the car was just a stationary hotbox machine. So yeah, at the time, I don't know what I was thinking. I remember just focusing on the awesome part, you know, the whole sledding down the mountain thing, but didn't take into account how cold it was, how much we needed to walk to get up the mountain, how I only had a hoodie on, plus I forgot about my crippling paranoia about feeling cold. Like literally, my dumbass brain just sometimes flips on me like, hey, psst. Yeah. So you're having fun? Feeling good?
You know, yeah, it's a beautiful day, you know, I'm having a good time.
Yeah, it is. But you're freezing cold, aren't you? No, what? I'm not. Well, now you are. You. Talk to you in your next high. Peace. So yeah, I don't know what I was thinking with that sledding plan. I was just really hyped about it for no apparent reason, but I think that's just it makes everything seem awesome. Another weird obsession I seem to have when I'm faded is real Japanese samurai swords. I don't know why, but there's just something about knowing that the sword you are holding was once used for actual combat by a true samurai. But hey, that just might be me. And if you want to know about how being high can affect your socializing ability, click the video on the screen. See you there. The types of drivers in high school. As we know, a lot of people get their license during this period, which evokes a sense of godhood in a kid, especially if their parents buy them some beat-up old Mustang or Chevy Impala, which they can flex on their friends with. Also, during this time, most guys, and even a lot of girls, think they Michael Schumacher or something and drive however they find fit. Since I attended 2 high schools and have sat with many different drivers during this period, I thought it would be fun to go over all the types of drivers I have encountered. So let's start off with number 1, the one who probably shouldn't have a license. If you've been unlucky enough to be in a car with one of these guys, then you should truly be grateful you are still alive and watching this video. This is the guy who never actually learned how to drive and just kept doing the exam until one miraculous day his examiner was like,
"Honestly, Tony, I feel bad for you. It's your 24th time doing this and you still drive like a 4-year-old with Alzheimer's. But since I'm tired of risking my life with your goofy ass, I'ma pass you. Just promise me that you'll never drive my neighborhood. You scoundrel."
They always got the most ridiculous car too, like some weird minivan or some old BMW, talking about how German engineering is superior. Hop on a ride with this guy and you'll be flabbergasted on how much he enjoys accelerating and cutting corners. Dude will have you praying to God that you make it out alive. Thankfully, these guys usually have 1 or 2 crashes and learn from it. One thing they'll never get over though is the love of old busted up cars, cause I guess deep down they know they're gonna crash it eventually. So their brain has learned exclusively to love cars that cost under $1,000. Anyway, enough of this car pirate, let's move on to number 2, the Vape Lord. This mofo don't even care about driving, he just likes vaping in his car. Their vehicle is always loaded with copious amounts of Nico sticks everywhere you look, and you're probably gonna get addicted to nicotine just by being in it. All these guys think they look like a mafia boss, cause they drive with one hand on the wheel and the other gripping their vape. But I gotta give it to him. Even though I don't really vape or anything, there is something about sucking on that cancer stick while driving that makes you feel like a total Chad. Just put on that Peaky Blinders song and you're done.
Hey yo man, we got some business to attend to, you get me? You mean picking your mom up from her yoga class?
I mean yeah, but it doesn't sound cool when you put it like that now does it?
Yeah, true.
Let's go! Number 3, the overly confident one. I think the best way to explain this one is with a story. So it's summer and we're driving to this festival. Now the driver, let's call him Edward, loaned his dad's van for this excursion. As we are driving, it starts raining, but it doesn't seem to affect him cause he just keeps cruising at the speed limit. Now here's where the overconfidence kicks in. We get to the city and it's still pouring. So I tell Edward he should probably drive really slow because his van's brakes were kind of broken. And well, it's raining. Which he proceeds to explain how he drives however he wants and that a man should drive with confidence. And I kid you not, 3 minutes later we were on this slope which at the end was a red light where cars were stood still, and instead of deaccelerating slowly, my man was going 40 miles per hour down this watery road when I panicked and said, "Bro, chill, you're gonna crash." When he was like, "Ah shit, you're right," and proceeded to slam the brakes, but it didn't work cause of aquaplaning. Pretty much his tires weren't even touching the road and he just slid like 20 miles per hour and crashed into a Nissan. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but sadly, Edward did not learn his lesson and is still a menace on public roads to this day. Number 4, the car guy. I love the car guy, not because I think they're cool or even respect their knowledge of cars, it's actually that I find them hilarious, in high school at least. The reason being, they always got some weird modified BMW or Mercedes talking about pound-feet of torque, turbocharged 2-liter olive oil engine. Like bro, I get that you modified your car, but I'm not a car guy, so all I see is a hunk of junk from the scrapyard that can single-handedly intoxicate the air in the parking lot. Funny part about him is even though they are constantly working on their car, it's always broken. The car guys I know have never been like, yeah bro, nothing I gotta do, it's all working perfectly. It's always something like, yeah, the right combustor needs a retweak I think, and the engine valves need to be sucked. And my girlfriend left me. Oh damn, sorry bro. Nah, the right combustor shouldn't take too long, and the engine valves will do for now. Nah, I meant your girlfriend, man. Aw, her? Ugh, never liked that hoe anyway, you know. I just have sex with my car now. Okay, bro. Anyway, let's move on to number 5. The plug. This the guy that flips those Reggie packs in the school parking lot. His car always smells like grass and his driving style is heavily influenced by the music he listens to. So if he's under the influence of the woo, he'll drive real safe and according to the speed limit. But put on some Chief Keef and mans will turn into a demon. Dude starts driving like he just hit a drive-by and is trying to dodge the cops. Even though these dudes are making a good amount of money, at least in terms of being a high schooler, their car isn't usually too expensive. Cause well, they be blazing in it 24/7, and well, you gotta be ballin' like Prime Jordan to be able to afford hotboxing in a new car. For me personally, I really like riding with these guys, cause contrary to popular belief, plugs aren't usually killer gangsters trying to get you every chance they get. They're actually pretty chill, plus, you know, free grass. Number 6. The taxi. Man, I love this guy. He the one who always got your back when you need a ride. Dude loves to drive and he'll gladly help a fellow homie out if he needs to be chauffeured. He'll never ask for any money, but you should pay him every now and again, cause if you don't, they'll probably start feeling like you using them and start ghosting you. A lot of people who just got their license are the taxi, cause in the beginning everybody loves to drive, until you know, their parents start to notice that every 2 days the gas tank is magically empty. But a truly caring taxi man will get a part-time job just to finance his 100 miles of driving around the same streets every day. The plug and the taxi go hand in hand, cause a lot of times when the plug's car is broken or he too faded to drive, the taxi will gladly help him venture through the city. Shit, all you gotta do now is throw the vape lord in the car and you got yourself a scene straight out of Blue Story. Anyway, time for the last one. Number 7. The rich kid. This guy drives like royalty. Bro's parents are loaded, so dude never pulls up with anything that's even 2 years old. I'm not saying that all these guys are snobs though, cause I know a lot of rich kids who know that they haven't earned it and just wanna hang out with everybody else. But I've also met a rich kid who constantly flexes with daddy's money, and it's honestly funny to hear it, cause they be thinking that everybody respects him for it, when in reality, he's just a laughingstock of the group. But one piece of advice, be friends with this guy. Whether or not he's stuck up doesn't matter. These guys be throwing the craziest parties with the hottest chicks, so yeah, use that to your advantage. Every type of driver on this list is special in their own way. Me personally, I was probably the one who shouldn't have a driver's license, as I crashed my first 2 cars. But shit, you live and you learn, and nowadays I'm a master of the drift through my expeditions into Assetto Corsa and Sims racing. Speaking of which, subscribe to my second channel. I'm gonna start posting some IRL stuff there soon, I promise. Maybe. And that's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye. There are many reasons why someone would choose to inhale the devil's lettuce or eat the forbidden fruit. Yet a lot of times when the before mentioned consumables are used, it's not for the right reason, such as trying to make a job interview more fun. You'll be sat there like, hello Mr. Bro, how are you today? Yeah, I'm good. So why did you choose to apply for this programming job here in SpaceX? Well, I saw the ad and I was like, SpaceX, bruh, that's a cool ass name. So I just grabbed me one of my space cookies, if you know what I mean, and strolled on over here. Okay. Security? Anyway, that's an example of a bad reason to get high. But here are 5 good reasons to get high. Number 5. You're hanging with new people. Now with this one, you gotta be real careful with your amounts, cause if you accidentally puff on that redstone torch for too long, you'll become the weirdo who just sits in the corner alone watching TikToks or something. The whole point of the Zaza in this situation is you'll find these new humans more interesting and actually want to listen to what they have to say, cause I swear, most people in this world just straight NPCs. Hey bro, I heard you're a friend of Salamander's, what's up? You are correct, yes. Yeah, man, me too. So you enjoying the party?
Yes, it's good.
For sure. So what you do, bro? What's your hobbies?
I like watching Riverdale and Marvel movies and enjoy drinking with friends at local bars.
Okay. That's cool. I mean, I like Marvel movies too, but instead of drinking, I like to blaze up with my homies at the crib. Data downloaded. Verdict reached. You are a junkie and I will no longer listen to your outlandish thoughts. We'll drink beer and watch TikToks on my phone now. I mean, with people like that, no amount of Zaza will make them interesting. With someone who actually does have something they do that's kind of quirky, like, I don't know, gardening for example, the hash will get you acting like, bro, no way. So you're telling me you bought a handful of seeds and in 6 months you had a whole pile of tomatoes? That's crazy. Now I know who to call in case of an apocalypse.
And you know, I got some seeds myself of the magic sort. Maybe you can plant them and grow them for me.
Number 4. You gotta do some low effort grunt work. By that, I mean something like helping your mom around the house or just doing mundane chores like getting groceries or something. With these things, the magic spice can only enhance your experience. Cause without it, you'll be walking around the store with your mom like,
Ugh, we've been here for 10 minutes already. Let's go home.
Compared to when you are sauced up.
Oh my god, Mom. Look at these Doritos. It's a freaking mega pack. Can you please buy it, please?
Okay, why not? So yeah, if you gotta do some grunt work, might as well blaze up before. Number 3, you need to be creative. Is it just me, or does everybody hop on their Phineas and Ferb pack when they bugging off the Zaza? Cause I swear, I come up with my best ideas when I'm high. Like I bet the OG inventor, Da Vinci, must have been a daily smoker on that. Bruh, I ain't got no ideas. Gotta bang something out soon if I wanna pay rent.
Wait, hold up. I got it! I'm gonna make a freaking helicopter!
One thing though that kinda sucks is that when you're really high, you can't execute on these ideas, cause I guess your brain has shifted old power from daily functionality into the creative sector, cause like, I can come up with the most convoluted step-by-step plan on how to defraud the world government, but then be at the kitchen trying to make a sandwich like. Number 2, you got a completely free day. Now imagine, you've been working for 5 days straight. It's Saturday and you ain't got no responsibilities, no homework, no job, no chores, no nothing. There ain't a better time ever to roll one up and puff one down. Now you got the whole day to adventure around. And you know what's even better? If you and your homie or homies got the same day free, I'd be hitting him up like, hello? Hey man, what you doing tonight? Funny you asked that. I'm actually completely free all day. Me too. So, you trying to blaze up? Yeah, boy. Yeah, so where are you right now? What you mean? Look out your window, fool. And the best part is, it ain't like you got a couple hours to enjoy. You got the whole day. The only, and I mean the only bad thing that can happen is some hard task or chore coming up. Cause nobody trying to deal with work or some difficult thing when they thought they had the whole day free.
Plus, you know, you're probably baked beyond comprehension on a day like this, so that also makes it very difficult.
Number 1, you wanna party, but you don't wanna feel bad in the morning. Some people might say that Zaza and partying don't mix, and I would have to respectfully disagree, because yes, when you get a little too zoinked, it gets pretty tough to socialize with people you don't know that well. But on the other hand, when you get your high right, everybody becomes about, 42% more interesting. Now mix in a little bit of drank too, just enough to get the words flowing through your mouth, and you got yourself the Healthy Party Man Mix. And bro, it'd be funny as hell the next day, especially if y'all stay overnight at the function, waking up the homies all smug like,
bro, what day is it right now? My head hurts so bad. Yeah, man, I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Darn, sucks for you guys. I'm feeling better than ever. Actually got a whole day of jet skiing, shopping, and playing basketball ahead of me. Hope you bums feel better soon. But you do need to work on your alcoholism. It's not the correct path to be on, you know.
You, man.
Smoking alone. It's a lot different than smoking with a group because, well, you're alone, so it's exclusively your job to explore those high thoughts and piece together fun activities to enjoy the high. And if all goes well, you'll have a blast, scrolling shorts, playing games, watching movies, pondering the scale of the universe and how nothing actually matters. It's great! But it comes with a catch. You see, when you're with a group of friends, it's much easier to stay on subject and destroy the evil thoughts the grass might curse you with. So, in my experience, when I'm getting high alone, I usually smoke a bit less just cause being super mega high is 99% of the time best enjoyed with a group and not by yourself. Unfortunately, when I was a youngster, I hadn't discovered this. In fact, I accidentally got the highest I'd ever been up until that point. And the demons I faced that night made me who I am today. The story begins with a high schooler CBD bro who had planned a great adventure with the main homie Salamander and Ricky. Well, not a great adventure per se. We were gonna go to Salamander's place on Friday night and get absolutely obliterated off that Zaza. And for that, I had secured a whole gram of that exotic the Friday before. And although very tough, I fought the urge to blaze for a whole week just so we could demolish it all together in one night. And if you watch some of my older videos, you know Salamander had a bit of a funky home situation, so a lot of times his house was completely free, and this was supposed to be the case on this beautiful night as well. So you know your boy was excited as an 8-year-old on Christmas for this upcoming Friday night high extravaganza. But it all came crashing down when Salamander texted me, "Hey yo, my parents came home tonight and well, they found my bong, so I'm basically in the gulag now, so no smoke sesh tonight, nor probably the next night, nor, well, until they leave again. See you once I serve my time. LOL. A true tragedy. Our plans have been foiled by none other than Salamander's stinky old bong. But I think you guys can see where this story is going. I had a whole gram of that fine exotic grass, and I've been holding myself back for a whole week in anticipation for the now cancelled high extravaganza. So here I was, standing in my shitty little dorm, filled with sorrow. I decided, screw it, I'ma just smoke alone. So I put my level 99 J-rolling skills to use, and after about 15 minutes of fumbling the spliff, I had done it. I rolled a J that was intended for free people, and headed outside to smoke it all by myself. After heading out, I went to my favorite park bench that was just outside the dormitory territory and started chipping away at the abomination I created. 1 puff, 2 puffs, 3 puffs. I was faded than a hoe, but nowhere near the fadedness I had been awaiting for. I continued puffing away until I reached the halfway point and my mouth became drier than the Sahara Desert, bro. So I took a little break to try to figure out how high I truly was. As I stared into nothingness for a good minute, I felt my first person camera slowly pull away into third person, like I was in GTA 5 or something. And I have no shame in saying I didn't smoke the whole thing, cause I was starting to get a bit paranoid, so I took my half-smoked 1G spliff and headed back to my dorm. And bro, you know those creepy pictures that are creepy because they look familiar, like it's just a normal pic, but then you really look at them and realize they ain't normal? Yeah, well, that's how I felt when I walked through the hallway leading to my room. But anyway, once I got to my room, I was still feeling paranoid. Like, it was weird cause I had never felt that way before from Za, and I think that's just cause when you get high with others, you're kinda comforted by the fact that you're not alone in the feeling of being absolutely smacked out of your mind. Thankfully, I did find some comfort in my favorite platform, YouTube. So I started watching some good vibey videos and slowly snapped out of my paranoid state, but was instantly greeted with a new problem. An uncontrollable sensation that if not satisfied will drive you right back to where you started. I'm talking of course about the munchies. So I gathered my strength and started walking to the closest store, and once I arrived, well, I ain't even gonna lie, my wallet was at the mercy of the Za, bro. So basically every food item I saw, my brain went, bro, see those Twinkies? That shit looks bussin'. Yeah, I know, but it's $4 and I already got like $25 worth of stuff in my car.
Nah, bruh. Screw all that. You buy this fucking bag of Twinkies, or I'm giving you a panic attack right here, right now, bro.
Okay, I'll buy the Twinkies.
Yeah, of course you will. Well, while you're at it, take that cheese sauce for the nachos, too.
Okay, I will. After my brain finished ganking the shit out of my wallet, I went back to my room and started demolishing everything I bought. And after that whole munch sesh, I was feeling a lot less hot too, but also my stomach was a bit upset, so I took a massive dump, laid down on my bed, and started scrolling shorts. And I scrolled and scrolled until I passed out without even brushing my teeth and still in my clothes. So you can imagine the next day, I had a bit of a cush hangover, feeling like Shrek, haziness, and overall being slower mentally, but hey, no regrets, cause my brain wasn't lying about those Twinkies, goddamn. Man, smoking too much is such an awkward thing, especially because of how normalized getting faded has become. Nobody wants to be the guy who kills the vibe by admitting they graining the thaw out. Like, dudes be knowing they approaching their limit, but peer pressure is a bitch. Like this one time in school when we were smacking the paper plagiarism on lunch break, and I could tell everybody was nearing the border between Yodiland and the Upside Down, but this motherfucker Salamander just kept on passing the J, and nobody wanted to be the first one to back out. Everyone kept on puffing and puffing until this one motherfucker just started puking. Like, goddamn. Safe to say, dude probably hasn't smoked again till this day. But you know, that was high school. Most kids weren't on that Wiz Khalifa pack like Salamander. I mean, this dude's parents were barely home, so mans must have just been low-key looking for attention by acting out. But instead, all he got was Snoop Dogg's tolerance and all the school thotties daily driving his dick. Some of you might not even know what it feels like when you smoke too much though. Shit, I know I didn't. My dumbass always just concluded that the stuff was laced, which looking back at it now makes me feel like a dinglebop for real. I mean, how you gonna smoke way more than you usually do in a situation you're not super comfortable in and then blame it on the weed? It's like a drunk driver suing an alcohol brand for making him unable to drive straight. Shit, it's like going to the store and buying too much food and then blaming the cashier for not stopping you. Like, bro, it's not on Jimmy the Plug God. Dudes is probably smoking the same stuff as we speak. And yeah, I know sometimes it could actually be laced, but what does telling yourself that help? Like, wouldn't it be better to believe it's not and your brain is just tweaking? Then you could maybe, you know, calm yourself down. Unlike when you've convinced yourself the Plug is a fucking supervillain going around giving his customers schizophrenia. Like, goddamn son, someone's gotta like the bat signal for real. But shit, I'm out here preaching like I ain't done this myself. Back when I was younger, I did green out a couple times, but since then, I have developed rules I follow to avoid this at all costs. Like, for example, first rule, you don't always gotta get obliviated, bruh. Seems simple enough, right? But back in the day, every time we were smoking, my dumbass felt like I had to get higher than last time. Once the J reached me, I just...
Thanks, bro. You guys got another one?
Bro. No. There's just some basic etiquette too, like everybody wanna get faded equally, but one thing with smokers is they're usually always chill and peaceful, so when you start hogging a spliff, rarely is somebody gonna forcefully take that shit from you. Just next time when you pull up, they'll bag your ass, pistol whip you, throw you in the trunk, and bury you alive next to Mr. Beast. That video would probably have to be on Rumble though. But point is, you don't always gotta be the highest in the room. Second rule, accept your limits. This is low-key the most important and the most difficult, but you might be thinking something like, don't you mean know your limits? No, I don't, bro. Cause I bet most y'all know them. Just when you be watching Fulcrum smacking the Benjamin like that bitch be only containing O2, you get a false understanding on how much mofos be actually smoking. Cause you can always do more, but what you can't do is forcefully remove the THC from your system and get less high. So don't be a victim of peer pressure just cause you wanna be cool, fool. But these rules don't mean shit if you don't factor in where you are and what you're doing. Which leads me to the day that made me come up with these rules. The time in my young life when I smoked so much in the wrong place, I was goddamn obliviated. Shit, I smoked so much I had less dialogue options than an Oblivion NPC. The first time I got high outside the comfort of me or a friend's crib, it was the usual business. We were chilling with the gremlins, me, Salamander, and Ricky, smoking up, talking about how we don't fall with school and how we finna make it out the hood. You know, the usual Gen Z shit. When Salamander, being the thotty magnet he was, got a text from one of his female companions inviting to what this motherfucker claimed to be a chill hangout spot. Although I do trust the homies, knowing Salamander's track record, I was a bit sus, cause I seen the places this dude hangs out at. I'll be waking up at the middle of the night to take a piss, then check the snap only to see dudes partying at some straight up trap house bugging off fucking ketamine. Okay, can't say that on YouTube, but let's just say it wasn't weed. Anyway, you know the drill. I don't wanna go, Salamander uses his 99 speech, convinces Ricky, now it's a 2v1, and I fold. Epic victory royale. But I agreed only under the condition that none of us drink nor do anything else, but smoke the Lord's loud, because it was a motherfucking Thursday after all, so I wasn't trying to pull up to school smelling like a bum, acting like a depressed middle-aged man from The Hangover. Looking back at it though, that was probably the wrong call, cause, well, you'll see. So we're walking to the crib and Salamander lights up this comically big J that he rolled back at his place with a week's supply. While we're almost finished puffing and on the edge of obliviation, I see this super dope house that seems to be having a party, so I excitedly ask Salamander, "Yo, is that the spot?" Bro, okay, that place does seem pretty dope. Oh yeah, that's the spot. Glad you fought with it. Some people are kinda put off by it from the initial appearance. Anyway, let's just go in. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. You first though. Where are you going? What do you mean? The crib, bro. Leave it to Salamander to have you walk through an amazing street filled with beautiful houses and lead you to the only one that looks like Shrek's vacation home. To add to it, me and Ricky were quite frankly bugging. But as I mentioned in the previous rules, that's not always a good thing, especially when you're preparing to go into a house where your brain has calculated a 50-50 chance of being stabbed in the gut by a freaking tweaker with a kitchen knife. In my head, I was thinking, well, hoping for the saying, don't judge a book by its cover to be the case here. But oh boy, I should have judged the goddamn book by its cover and dashed off like Prime Usain Bolt. Cause what we were dealing with was in every sense of the word except not containing any of the actual substance, I think, a crack house. These people were blasting some of the most disgusting music I've ever heard. Shit sounding like the noise a speaker makes when you fiddle with the aux cord. And because I was high, that set the whole tone of my experience there. And shit, I did not know Salamander hanged out with vampires. Most of the dudes there were looking what you would imagine the local bum to be when he was young. I was in total shock. My teenage brain could not comprehend the degeneracy, the idiocy, the overall lack of humanity in that house. And it's not like I didn't try to have fun, but our highness did not mix with whatever the fuck these guys were on. At some point, I saw him pull out a vodka bottle, and they drank the whole thing in 5 minutes dry, straight from the bottle, like they were trying to speedrun liver failure. I attempted to conversate with some of them, but to no avail. I mean, what did I expect though? A drunk person usually isn't on the same wavelength as a high person, combined with the fact these dudes probably just got done sacrificing a goat to bring forth the Antichrist. I was starting to tweak the fuck out. Well, not tweak, I guess. Me and Ricky did have some fun by just bantering about how messed up of a place we had found ourselves in. All of this didn't seem to affect Salamander though, as we spotted him rizzing up a girl we assumed was the one that invited him, but we were wrong in that assessment because 5 minutes later the girl who actually invited him saw it, went up to him, yelled at him, and then slapped that man so hard it made him rethink his whole